You're 19. Pool deck at Camp Lejeune 0500, lights buzzing overhead like dying insects. Your hands are zip-tied behind your back. Your ankles are bound. An instructor is standing over you with a clipboard, not a stopwatch, because timing you would suggest he cares how fast you finish. But he doesn't. He's watching your face, watching for panic. Panic is the only thing he's grading today. 17 years later, in different water. Gulf of Aden, not a training pool. Same guy, gear off, sitting in the wardroom of a commercial tanker, sipping bad coffee, billing $400 a day to make sure Somali skiffs don't get within small arms range of a shipping lane. He's not jumping out of planes anymore. He's not eating sand in Helmand. He retired as a gunnery sergeant. 20 years. Pension checks land on the first of the month, like a paycheck from a war that's already over for him. In between those two men, the one drowning on purpose and the one drinking coffee for cash, is a structural meat grinder the Marine Corps doesn't put in recruiting commercials. It eats people. Quietly. By design. This is every level of becoming a Marine Force Recon.
Level 1. School of Infantry. The pool. First, you have to become a Marine. That part's almost incidental. 13 weeks at Paris Island or San Diego, the Crucible. 54 hours, minimal sleep, minimal food, a finish line designed to feel like salvation. You graduate. You get the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. You think you've already done the hard part. You haven't. The hard part doesn't have a graduation ceremony. It has a pool schedule. You volunteer for RTC. Nobody makes you. That's the cruelty. Opt-in suffering.
Your math, a few extra months of pain, buys you a tab. A different life than roving patrol at 29 Palms. The pool doesn't care about your math. Bound hand drown proofing. Underwater knot tying while an instructor's hand holds your shoulder down. Not lifting you, holding you, watching what fear does to your face. This filter is brutal by design. Published attrition for the early water screening phase runs north of 50% before anyone sees a land nav course. No remedial track for a man who panics underwater. Your E2, your pay is about $2,200 a month, and you've already spent $80 of it on a dive watch. The Corps' issued gear can't be trusted at depth. Small money. It buys nothing back if you climb that ladder. Make it through, you've earned nothing yet. Just the right to keep failing at a harder level. Level 2, Basic Reconnaissance Course. BRC is the wall. Weeks of land navigation, small unit patrolling, sleep deprivation stacked on sleep deprivation until your decision-making goes soft. The cadre here isn't grading fitness. You already proved that. They're grading judgment when you're too tired to fake it. Combined attrition from INDOC through BRC graduation is widely cited above 50% of everyone who volunteered. Cumulative, not per course. Most of the class that started with you is gone. E3 pay now. Call it $2,500 a month. You're buying your own boot insoles, your own land nav board, gear the table of equipment doesn't issue because the budget assumes you'll wash out before you need it. The trap here is quiet. One failed land nav grid, one instructor noting poor composure under stress on a peer eval, and you're recycled to a later class, or cut. No appeal, no second written exam. The chain of command doesn't owe you a reason beyond a checked box. Survive BRC, you get the MOS, Reconnaissance Marine, 0321. You still haven't been trusted with anything yet. Level 3, Probationary Recon Marine. You report to a platoon. The tab on your sleeve means nothing here. Trust is currency, and you're broke. Senior Marines watch you on live training ops, on dive quals, on jump quals, deciding in silence whether you're someone they'd actually want next to them when it's real. E4 pay, roughly $2,800 a month, plus jump and dive special pay. That adds maybe $200–300 if you're current. If you're not current and currency lapses constantly because schedules eat training slots, you're pulled off operational status, pencil whipped into admin work while your platoon trains without you. The system doesn't fire you. It just quietly stops counting on you. The antagonist here isn't a drill instructor. It's the platoon sergeant's silence, the seat at the table you haven't been offered yet. Prove yourself over months, not days, and the probation lifts. Nobody announces it. You just notice one day that someone hands you a harder job without checking twice. Level 4, Operator, MARSOC Assessment. Now you're deploying. Deep reconnaissance, direct action, attached missions that don't make the news. Some of you volunteer again for MARSOC, the Marine Special Operations Command pipeline. Another selection, another washout point stacked on top of everything you already survived. The math you're running now is different. You're thinking 4 more years gets me to the 10-year mark, halfway to a pension I can actually feel. The trap, deployment tempo doesn't ask about your math. Extended rotations, short dwell time, back-to-back workups. RAND data on this community flags elevated rates of joint injury and hearing loss by the time Marines hit this stage. The dive and jump quals you needed to get here are the same ones wearing your body down now. E5, E6 pay, $3,200 to $4,200 a month base. Total comp with special pays and BASC lands near $80,000 a year. Decent until you do the hourly math on the actual hours. Some men get hurt here. VA claims for spinal and joint damage in this community run well above conventional infantry averages. Nobody warns you about that at the recruiting station.
Level 5. Team Leader, Senior NCO. You're a staff sergeant or gunnery sergeant now, leading 4 to 6-man teams on the highest risk mission sets the Corps has. The promotion board is the new antagonist, faceless, paper-based, deciding your entire trajectory off a record you can't argue with in person. Failed to select twice and up or out ends a career operational skill alone can't save. E7 pay, roughly $4,800 to $5,500 a month. Total compensation near $95,000 with BAA and special pays. Here's the real math, the one nobody runs for you. Separate at year 17, 18, 19, you walk away from a pension worth compounded over a lifetime somewhere north of $700,000. The cliff is real. Men with bad knees and worse hearing stay anyway, because the alternative is forfeiting 2 decades of sunk cost in the body math, not the wage math. 2 decades of diving and jumping leaves a mark. VA disability ratings in this community frequently land between 50 and 100% by the time someone's eligible to retire. Level 6. Post-service exit value. 20 years in, you retire. Pension lands first of the month, roughly half your final base pay for life. Call it $35,000 to $40,000 a year, guaranteed, indexed, boring in the best way. Then the market finds you. Maritime security firms pay $400 to $700 a day for vessel escort work in high-risk transit corridors, Pirate Alley, the Strait of Hormuz. Work it consistently, you're clearing $100,000 to $160,000 a year, more than your E7 base pay for a fraction of the institutional weight. Federal contracting and close protection roles, especially with a clean record and a clearance, land in the $90,000 to $140,000 range stateside. Add the pension, add VA disability compensation, often $1,500 to $3,000 a month tax-free depending on rating. Total household income, most years, exceeds what you made on active duty at your peak. The body kept the bill though. The knees, the ears, the sleep that never quite came back right. Nobody puts that part on the contractor's invoice. That's the whole ladder. Pool deck to pension check.